Let me be clear when I say this. I am not a professional at what I'm gonna say and what I'm gonna believe. You people are probably gonna believe what I different from me. My mic here, it sucks. My setup, it sucks. My voice sucks. My entire opinions suck, but I want to say them anyways. Not as a professional critic, because I'm not one, but I want to say them from one person to another. Just said I'm not gonna say what's. I'm gonna say what's bad about it. Sure, I'm gonna say what's good about it. But these are all my opinion, and I'm not a critic. So, and with my repetitiveness being said, let me mention here something here. Sorry, I do not have a script for this. I do not have anything really for this. I'm in a closet trying to record my personal thoughts about a game that is dead. It's gone. No one plays it. But I'm still going to try. Because honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because, to be honest, who cares? So with that being said, here's my non-so-professional opinion on Fallout 4. Now, with Fallout 4, it was a game that I got somewhere around 2017. I forgot when. Around February, I guess, or somewhere around there. I never grew up with the Fallout franchise. Not once. Not ever. But, however, we're out of our sheer hype for getting the game, we got it. And when we got it, I liked it. I didn't hate it. And personally for me, when I was playing the game, I actually was enjoying it because it was fun. And that's all I really needed. I didn't need for it not to be fun. I didn't need for it to actually be good. I just wanted to have fun with it. And, well, while having fun with it, and eventually I stopped because after finishing the game around the Institute ending, I never actually finished the entire game. At least not all routes. I then delved into the Fallout Dream, Fallout New Vegas, and 1 and 2, and everyone's opinion on Fallout 4. Also, the game was terrible, unmade, betrays the entire Fallout franchise as a whole. For me, I enjoyed it. And I'm not going to stand here and lie saying, oh, the game's bad or anything, because I'm not going to try to say why the game's bad, but, well, actually I will try. So, as far as I can gather here, the opinions on why the game was bad. One of the main opinions I always heard was the fact that it did not play like an RPG. It was playing like an active shooter for casual gamers more than an actual RPG made for hardcore fans of the old series. And with that, I can see why exactly the people hate it. Because, oh boy, that must suck. I mean, imagine that you're trying to wait for I don't know how many years, I think 5 to 10 years, just for a new franchise. When all of a sudden you hear Fallout 4 is coming out, you're like, oh, they're gonna innovate it. They're gonna make it with new graphics. They're gonna make it better than the old Fallout games. No, they just end up making it worse. And that right there, that is terrible. Terrible to anyone that actually loved these games. But I'm not saying that deserves, but I'm not saying that deserves any reason actually for why the games are hated as they are. Because to be honest, as terrible as it is, I don't honestly think that's a big problem. Don't get me wrong, it's still a problem. It's just something that you need to move past, because I know very well what happened. The developers got greedy. They just wanted to make a new Fallout game, but at the same time, they opened up a new way for new casual fans to get into a game that everyone was shy away from. Imagine that you were a casual fan and you were just thinking about trying to get into the Fallout game, but it had so many complex RPG mechanics and role-playing games that you never ever played, and all you wanted to do was get into this wasteland and hear the stories and hear the lore and all that, but you couldn't because at the same time you had to explore using RPG things or just get through a YouTube video like Oxhorn or somewhere around there. I think that's what Fallout 4 did. It introduced casual audiences to a game that no one wanted to go with because they were too shy to play it because they could not understand it well. And I know what you're going to probably say, oh, that's dumb. They should probably understand it if they want to get into the lore and all that. Not everyone's going to try to be that dedicated. They just want to hear a story. They just want to hear something new. From the movies, from the games, they are casual audiences and they are not hardcore gamers. And another thing with that, as I'm saying that as well, as give me a sec. Let me put my thoughts together. Okay. With that though, let's bring it to something also bad about it that I've also heard around. The game is not very well made, filled with glitches and filled with, well, really a lot of things actually. Mainly it's just filled with a lot of glitches, bugs, and it's quite disappointing in general. But at the same time, it's Bethesda. What do we expect? These games were practically made for fudging glitching. And to be honest, I have heard from like some gamers that... Sorry, give me a sec. Okay. I have heard from some gamers that the glitching, all the uneasiness and all the glitching that came from Bethesda games is what... Sorry, my closet's having my... It's like moving around. Anyways. Check if there's any monsters outside the closet. That didn't... Yeah, darn it. Okay. Back on track. Sorry about that. The games of Bethesda were always so memorable because of the sheer fact that they were so glitchy that everyone had their own unique experiences discovering all these glitches. And to be honest, when I was playing Fallout 4, the game had a few glitches for me as well. I remember this was one instance where every single time I picked up not picked up an item. Every single time I leveled up, I actually ended up getting insta kill no matter where I was. It didn't matter if I was in the bathroom. It didn't matter if I wasn't touching JV Holmes' locker. But yeah, let's just say the glitches were pretty bad. I forgot to mention I was in the closet, by the way. There's a bathroom going on right now. My bird's probably in the toilet. I am really scared. Anyways. But with the glitches, at the same time, you can't forgive Bethesda for putting glitches like that. Because honestly, open world games, what makes them so immersive is the fact that they shouldn't be unpolished for no random reason. They should always be polished and perfectly well. That way a person can enjoy and get invested in the game. But if you're making a franchise that has extreme unpolishedness, then, well, you're basically just screwing the people over, saying, hey, we don't care about your time. All we care about is your money. But at the same time, open world games, unlike horror games, are a lot harder to fix because of their sheer mass size. Breath of the Wild, one of the Nintendo games I know very well, has a few frame drops, and I'm not sure how many glitches it has, but I'm pretty sure it has glitches. The old Zelda games have glitches, and everyone says they have Nintendo polish, but the Nintendo polish can only get you so far. And to be honest, have to be unforgivable. If you are a gamer, you're gonna have to get used to glitches really fudging fast, and frame drops, anything really. You have to get used to it fast because you're gonna have to live with it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how good you think. But if you can't live without some glitches, then you are not a gamer. Never. You will never be a gamer. With that, let's bring up another point that was also mentioned. A lot of people say the combat is very, how do you say, bad. It's terrible. It's awful. It disgraces the entire Fallout franchise because it was so easy to just overpower every single person, unlike the old games, which had it to where, how do you say, the old games at least allowed you the chance to decide your old class, your own traits, your own person. You had to decide how your person is going to become right away in the game, instead of them now being a jack of all trades. But at the same time, I don't really think I can blame them on this one either as much. I like to say that when people say that the game's too easy now, it's because this game was never meant for hardcore fans, and that sucks. It does suck. It sucks more than anything. But at the same time, you can't just say that a game's bad because it's easy. You can't say a game's bad because it's too hard. You can't say that. And honestly, if you're saying that a game's bad because because it's too easy and it makes you bored, then that's on you. But in a casual audience mindset, in a mindset that rarely plays video games, that is a good pick up and play game that you don't have to get too invested into or spend too much time if you're too busy. So, yeah. So I don't really think that's really an issue. So, with that, because I have those scripts, let me get into some reasons on how I personally experienced the game. At least a little bit more now. When Sorry about that. That was my bird bothering me. Anyways, for me personally, when the Fallout game first, when Fallout 4 first arrived, as I mentioned before, it was one of the first games to actually get me into the actual Fallout franchise. Appreciate what it was and not what it used to be. But that's because I was one of the people that never actually experienced Fallout. And I'm sure my opinion on it would actually be a lot more different than it is now. A whole lot more different. But to be fair, it's not. It's not different. Or actually, it's way more different than most people. But then again, if I was actually stating my good professional opinion, then, well, let's face it, then this will be a whole different title. For me, when I first started out the game, Fallout 4, it was an experience like really no other for me. It was a casual shooter, yet at the same time I had RPG elements. My character could be any trait and I wasn't settled down by just one, because I'm a person that can't choose one. I have no time and effort to focus on choosing one trait and focusing on that trait alone. If anything, that makes me a lot more angrier trying to focus on one trait or multiple traits, only a few traits at a time. So the track of all traits didn't bother me that much. For me, the game was incredibly tough. Don't get me wrong, I'm terrible at video games. I'm awful at them. Oh god. I don't even know how the fudge I managed to survive Dark Souls. But that doesn't mean, hold on for a minute, I actually gotta